Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Mark, a trainer here at WEX Field Service Management, and today we are covering maintenance plans basics. This webinar will cover a maintenance plan setup and overview, adding maintenance plans with no payment, adding maintenance plans through an invoice, scheduling your maintenance visits. So after everything has been set up, how are you going to make sure you remember to go out and do those sessions? And then how you can set up maintenance plan discounts in your system. We'll end with our live Q&A where you can get your questions answered live on stream. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into WEX FSM. So our main topic and focus today is maintenance plans. And if this is your first time setting up maintenance plans in your system, the very first place you're going to want to go after you have logged in is to More Applications, Maintenance Plans. That brings you to the Maintenance Plan Template Hub. This is where you will set up all of your offerings to your customers. I've already done so, so you can see that I have a one system residential comfort club plan and then a two system, a three system. Once you make it to this page, this is where you will set up your maintenance plan offerings. Think of these as your contracts that you are signing your customers up for. To create a new maintenance plan, you will click New Maintenance Plan in the top right, and it will have fields. You'll just fill out these fields, click Save, and that will save your plan to the maintenance plan list. Now, for an example, we're going to go through a plan that I've already set up in here, and you can start to think how you would set up your plans. So I will click on Comfort Club Plan. Let's say this is one of my basic plans. The plan name and the plan description is customer facing. This will be like a line item that you would add to your invoices and proposals. When you show this to your customer, they'll see on the invoice, let's say, the name of the plan and the description. Usually in your description here is where you want to put what the customer is getting. You could put pricing if you want in the description. You don't have to, but this is you want your customer to know what they're getting. So that's what I would put here. When you sign a customer up for a maintenance plan, they will have a star next to their name throughout the entire system. So you can always know who is a maintenance plan customer and who is not. Then you can color code those stars. So I have my Comfort Club plan as a blue star. And then I have, let's say my residential plan as a red star. When I see my two customers next to each other, I can see the blue star is the Comfort Club, and I'll know that the red is the residential, and so on. Just click in, select the color that you want, and then it'll save that when you hit save at the bottom. Then contract length. This one is very important. This is how long your customer will be under contract, and this is what they are signing for. So if you have, and this is also going to determine when this is marked as expired in your system. So if you have this set to 1 year, then a customer signs up for this contract. It'll sign them up for a year. They'll be recognized as a maintenance plan customer for a year in your system, and then it will automatically mark them as expired, and those will be expired. Once that is expired, then you would sign them up for a new plan, maybe another year. And then you can have different contract lengths up to 10 years. For example, if I sign someone up for a 5-year contract, it will create the next 5 years of service window jobs, and you'll just work those jobs until the end of the 5 years. Then it will be marked as expired. This is best if you know someone who, is not going to cancel for a while. They want to get into a contract with you for multiple years, and you just don't want to have to renew them every single, year or 2 years. You set the renewal date from here. Until canceled is best paired with a recurring payment plan. So you in the system, you can set a customer up on a recurring payment plan, just like paying any of your other bills on auto pay. You would grab their payment information that stores securely on their profile, and then this would just auto charge for the maintenance plan. This will set up the next 20 years of service window jobs in your system, and you will just use those jobs to work those throughout the years. And then that is just a way to set up your contracts. If you know you're just doing 1 year contracts, I would set them to 1 year. If you know that this is a plan you're going to set until canceled, that's going to be the one you would sell when you want to do a payment plan. And then personal preference on the different year contracts. Now, pricing. This is also very important. This is what the price of this plan will be. There's two main ways that you can set up these plans. One is you put a price here. You are saying that for this 1 year contract, it's $100 a year, and the customer would then pay, $100. Then you would service them twice a year, however many service visits you add, service windows. But maybe having pricing on every single offering that you do is too much, too many different iterations. So if you're thinking, well, when my guys are out there, there's a million different variations, and maybe they have a heat pump and maybe they don't, and I don't want to have to make 100 variations. So what you could do is put the price at $0. Then it's just a template. You would be able to determine by looking at the equipment in front of you. The technician would then decide how much to charge and would just update the price in the moment. So, process number one, put a price per offering and make a separate contract like this for each of your different offerings that you have. The second way is you don't have to put a price, and that makes it more customizable in the moment, but your technician would have to know the pricing and do the math in the field. So pros and cons to both, but those are the different options depending on personal preference, however you want. We'll go ahead and set this back to 100. If you're syncing to QuickBooks, this is the income account, the revenue for this maintenance plan will sync to. So maybe you have an account in your QuickBooks specifically for maintenance plan revenue. You'll want to select that one. And these will be pulled from your QuickBooks. So whatever you have set up in your QuickBooks as income accounts for your chart of accounts is what will show up here. And you just select the one you want this money to go to sync to. Do you collect taxes on your maintenance plans? Yes or no? And then the terms here are really nice. If you already have a PDF, let's say like maintenance plan brochure or contract that you already have, you can upload that here as terms and agreements just by choosing that PDF file. Otherwise, you can copy and paste or type natively the contract for this here. Last section below, we've got service windows, job types, and duration. So service windows, each of these is the job folder that you're going to use when you go out and do these maintenance visits. And this is the part I really like keying into. What this is saying for this plan is that if someone purchases the Comfort Club plan, this contract, they are going to get 2 visits a year. So this is saying we're going to go between January and June and do the AC cleaning, and between July and December and do the heat cleaning. If you wanted, you could name this, visit 1, visit 2, visit 3. Maybe you could do visit one and then put what the name of the thing. Like this visit, we're going to do a filter change. But on visit two, we're going to do something else. This is personal preference, but naming the jobs here when you go to schedule makes it very easy for you to remember. Oh, this is our spring cleaning, and this is our fall cleaning. Whatever you want, you name those. And then I'm going to show you in a little bit how that comes into play when we go to actually schedule. The job type is for reporting. So whenever you are doing a maintenance visit, you most likely will want to select maintenance as the job type. Then if I go to my reporting, I could pull up, let's say, how much money did I make from my maintenance visits last year? And you could pull that very easily as long as you're tagging your maintenance visits with the maintenance job type. When you're done, click Save Maintenance Plan. That will then save that into your list of plans. And this, what you have here, is what will be available when you go to sell a maintenance plan to your customer. And let me just check my notes real quick before we move on. Perfect. Okay, so that is the overview of setting up your maintenance plans. But now, how do we use this in context? That was more of a foundational step. We want to get this set up first so we have our plans ready. But then, how do we actually sell this and sign a customer up for a maintenance plan? To do this, there's a couple different places that you can add maintenance plans. I would say the easiest place to know about any customer maintenance plan is just go to the customer page. So we're going to search for my customer, Mary Smith. We're going to go to her customer page. Now, for you, you'll just type your customer's name. If they're in your customer list, they'll show up. You click on them, and now you're on the customer page. Each customer in your system has a maintenance plans tab, and this is where you're going to go to see the details of that customer's maintenance plan. Now, Mary here does not have a maintenance plan. And there's a couple scenarios here that we're going to go over today. This first one is specifically for those of you who are in onboarding, and maybe you already have plans that are in a previous software. Most likely you've already been running a maintenance plan program, and you'll need to backdate plans that are currently set and get those into your system. And so actually just a quick, Stephanie, is that something that you know that you need? Do you currently have plans? And then you'll need to get those into your system, kind of backdate them. Okay, perfect. So that's what we're going to cover right now. So, do you have them in like an Excel sheet, or is it in QuickBooks, or like where do you have those?
It's not in neither is just a we use another one called WIC, and that's where we have them. So
Oh,
we
cool.
transferring everything over. It's not WEX, but it's WIX, and that's where we kind of starting to transfer things over.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yes, I had to
Okay.
learn about this. Yeah.
So you'll pull up Wix and you'll have the, whatever maintenance
Hmm.
plans like your database.
Yes.
And then in the system here, you'll follow what I'm about to go over. Sweet. Okay, so I'm looking at my previous maintenance plan. I know that Mary Smith already has a plan, and we already did her spring maintenance, but we need to do the fall maintenance, and I need a way to document this and get this into WEX FSM. So to do this, we are going to click the red plus button. That's how you can add a maintenance plan to a customer. We'll choose the plan. Now, this is where you're looking at your old, or I guess your current info. So we would say, oh, Mary is on the Comfort Club plan, and she signed up for this, in let's say January 8th, and the price for this was $100. Now, this is a personal preference. If you know that Mary has already paid for this, you could just make this $0. That way, it's not showing a balance and you just can move forward. Technically, if you wanted, you could put the charge and then you could, like create an invoice and attach it to this plan. And like there is a way to document, but usually most of my customers, they're like, that's money that's already been spent, already been paid. I'm not trying to worry about that. So you just put it as 0. Do you collect tax? Here's the contract terms that you would have already set up when you made the template. And then right here, this is just saying that your customer has agreed to this. Um, you can grab a signature from them, but it's not required. So you already know that your customer signed up. It's fine. I'm just going to bypass that. This is saying the service windows. Now, this part's important because we are backdating. So let's say that between January and June, we did the AC cleaning. Between, July and December, we'll go out and do the heat cleaning. And we're going to say the first window was January to June. We'll click next. Also, hello and welcome, Whitney. We have already gotten started here, but we do record all of our sessions. So you will be able to watch a replay of this to capture anything you may have missed. But we'll do a Q&A at the end also, Whitney, if you have any questions. But I just wanted to say welcome. From here, the reminders, this is asking who are you going to reach out to when it's time to actually schedule your next visit. And then for payment, since I know I'm backdating this, this has already been paid for in the previous system, we'll do not now for payment and click done. And there we go. So now I'll see in the system that Mary is a Comfort Club plan, you know, customer, and the balance is at 0. Last piece of this is we do need to backdate this cleaning if we've already done one of the two, let's say. So I'm just going to simply click on the calendar icon here. And we're just going to backdate this by clicking schedule now. And I just need to think, when did I actually do this? So she signed up on the 8th. Let's say that March 11th, we went out there from 11 to 12 and did this AC cleaning. So the technician who went out there, let's say, was Dustin. And now we'll schedule. This is going to schedule it. It has scheduled it in the past. So all you need to do is click in and mark it as complete. So there we go. Now, Mary Smith, who was a previous maintenance plan customer before, now is a maintenance plan customer with all the correct historical details from that plan she's currently on. Okay, so that is an example of backdating a plan. Uh, Also, just a way to add a free plan. Let's say you wanted to, maybe someone is like, I will sign up for a big install if you offer me a free maintenance plan program. Fine, we'll get you on our maintenance plan program. We'll waive the $100 fee, and that'll get us into the $40,000 job we really want to get into. With this, you can now come in and add a plan without charging them. So it's another uh, option for that way of setting it up. Okay, the next scenario is that we want to sell a plan on an invoice. Let's say that I have a customer in the office with me that I want to sell a plan to, or one of my technicians out in the field, they are going to sell a plan through an invoice. To do this, let's go to our customer, Justin Hernandez. So I'm just on Justin's customer page. And if I want to create an invoice, I will click under the quick actions, create new job form. Click on that. And I'm thinking specifically, I'm creating a job so I can sell a maintenance plan to my customer. So I'm going to make this job type maintenance. I'm going to name this maybe, maintenance plan. And then I want to create this job with an invoice. So we'll click create new invoice. Oh, what did I miss? That should be good. Unable to create new job. Please correct any errors. Okay. I'm not sure why that's happening. Let me refresh the page. I am in a test environment, so this is it sometimes gets a little confused. So let's go back, create. That should be good. Maintenance plan, create new invoice. There we go. When you're on an invoice, this is where you can sell a maintenance plan to a customer. They'll pay the invoice. Now they're a maintenance plan customer. To do this, from the invoice, we're going to go past the product section down to where it says recommend a maintenance plan. Very simple. Click recommend. You'll select this dropdown is going to show you the maintenance plan templates we set up earlier from the maintenance plan page. So let's go ahead and select our Comfort Club plan. I know that this plan is $100 a year, so we're going to click save. And that will add it as a recommendation first. Maybe this is where I'm talking to the customer and I show them, hey, here's the Comfort Club plan. It's going to be 1 year. We'll come out twice a year. It's $100. And here's the benefits of all of, having that. Customer says, yep, that sounds great. Let's go ahead and sign up. You'll click sign up now. All of this information should just be correct. You can edit or update if you need to. And we want to charge them $100 for this plan. We'll click next. These are the service windows, will come out between January and June, July and December. You can change and edit these if you need to. And then who are we going to reach out to when it's time to schedule? And now payment. We will put this payment on the invoice and click done. So now we have an invoice with our Comfort Club plan and all the details and the pricing, $100. We'll go ahead and scroll down and we have a couple options here. If the customer is ready to pay right now, if I'm a field technician standing in front of the customer and they want to pay upfront for the entire year, they can just pay now. Pay now is going to process through WEX FSM and send the money directly to your bank account. Record payment is if you are taking the payment outside of WEX FSM. Uh, Maybe you're taking a cash payment. You still need to get that cash to the bank for that to be processed, but you want to record that you took that payment in your system. So that is what record payment is for. And send, you can send it to the customer and they can make a payment online. And that will also be the same as pay now in that it will send the money to your bank account. So those are some options. Let's go ahead and record payment. This is just saying this hasn't been signed yet. That's fine. Yeah, I do recommend you get signatures from your customers, but we'll bypass for today's session. And then this is saying that we're going to use this invoice to charge $100. We are applying a portion or all of this to the maintenance plan. So this is the key part. We're paying for the invoice, but the invoice is paying for the maintenance plan. And then payment method. Let's say they paid with a check today and record payment. Now we can see the star is next to Justin's name. So Justin is officially a maintenance plan customer. He's signed up for the Comfort Club plan. If we hover over, we can see which plan they're on. And now, if we go back to Justin's customer page, you can see the maintenance plan details on the maintenance plan tab. Now, for this scenario, this is the customer paid upfront for the entire balance. From moving forward, you would go out and do the AC cleaning, in the spring, the heat cleaning in the fall, and you can technically just come to the customer's page to schedule these. Now, this is individual, and this is great if you have that customer on your mind. But it's not going to be easy to remember all 100 customers that you're servicing in a season, or if you have a lot of different maintenance plans. So you are able to keep track of all of your maintenance plan visits by going to the reporting page. So we're just going to go to reporting, and under the jobs section, there is a report called Maintenance Plan Appointment Scheduling. Click on that. And this brings you to, now this is where you're going to do your actual scheduling. So from here, I've got all current and future maintenance plan visits that I need to do. But the question you're going to most likely ask is, who do I owe a service to right now? So we're in July. Who would we owe in a current service window right now? We're going to get rid of future and get rid of next. That way, we're looking at maintenance plan statuses that are current, not expired, and service windows that are current, meaning we owe them a service now. And here it is. This is my list. I can see the name, like these are AC cleanings. This is a visit 1 year. It's up to you what you want to name these, but these are the job names, which makes it easy for me to see like what we're supposed to do. Then you have your appointment status. Unscheduled means that this is due. You have not scheduled this yet. You just click on it and now you can schedule. So let's say, it's the beginning of the week. I know I need to get some maintenance visits scheduled. I'll come to this page, set current and current, and I could just go down the list, call David. Hey, David, we've got your spring maintenance we need to do. You want to go ahead and get that scheduled? Yeah. Can you guys come over tomorrow? Sounds good. And just click and schedule. Uh, if you want, you can also send reminders. So I could, instead of calling each customer individually, I could select all, review, and send. Now they're going to get either a text or an email saying, please contact us because it's time for you to do your maintenance. So that's another way that you can manage uh, setting up your maintenance plans. Okay. Now we also so we looked at how to sell a maintenance plan from the customer page by going to their maintenance plans tab and clicking the plus button. We also looked at how to set up and sell a maintenance plan by going to create new job form and selling through an invoice. But if you charge at time of service, then you will want to create a maintenance plan, and then you'll want to charge them when you actually get to the job. Let's say that your technician goes out, uh, sorry, you sign your customer up for a maintenance plan, they do not pay. They're just now part of your program. When you go and do the first maintenance, they'll pay, let's say, $50. They'll pay for that first maintenance, half of the plan. Then you go in the fall and they'll pay the second half. The way that you can do this, you can do that with an invoice or without an invoice. So I'm just going to show you an example of both. If you're doing this without an invoice, let's go to a new customer. Let's say Emily Davis. Okay, so you can create an invoice, have the full amount on it, and that invoice will just show as outstanding until that payment is made. So we're going to go and do this. Let's do this one without an invoice first. So I'm going to add the plan without an invoice. Let's say Comfort Club plan. We are going to charge them $100, but we're not going to take that payment just yet. So the payment is going to be not now, but the balance will be $100. So we'll click done. Now, Emily, my customer, is a maintenance plan customer in my system. And I just know that between January and June, I need to go do this AC cleaning. And between July and December, I need to go do this heat cleaning. When the first, uh, let's say my technician goes and completes this first visit, either in the field in the moment, the technician can take the payment and apply it to the maintenance plan, or you in the office can take the payment. But basically, what you want to do is go to payments, and we can either process or record a payment. Let's record. And here's the key. There's no invoice, but if we scroll down, we want to apply a portion or all of this payment to a maintenance plan, and we want to put the payment amount as $50. So what is happening? Oh, I'm so sorry. You put the amount here. So payment without invoice, I'm putting $50. Now I'm applying that $50 to the Comfort Club plan. But I messed up. I changed this. This should be $100 is the amount of the plan. Oh, no, because we just want 50. Okay, that's what we want. So what's happening right now? We're recording a payment. We have no invoices to select because we're just going to apply a payment without an invoice to the maintenance plan. I've got $50 is the amount. This is showing the total amount of payment. We'll pay $50, which will have a $50 balance left over. Now we're ready to go. Sorry about that. Let's say they paid with a check today and record payment. Now, when we go back to the maintenance plan, I can see, oh, let's refresh. $50 has been applied, and we have a balance of $50. And then when, the heat cleaning is done in the fall, you can just do the same thing. Go to payments, record payment. You want to do a payment without an invoice, $50. You want to apply this to a maintenance plan. That'll now make that balance 0. They received today and record payment. Refresh. So there we go. That's one way that you can do it is if you're not wanting to use invoices, you can just have the maintenance plan keep track of the balances here. If you're going to do it through an invoice, you would do the same thing. Here, we'll use the same customer. Let's just delete that maintenance plan. You'll create an invoice. So we'll create an invoice from a job. So there we go. And we want to recommend a maintenance plan. We're recommending this on an invoice. Sign up now. All this information is the same. $100. Next. Service windows, reminders. Payment, we're going to put on the invoice because we want the invoice to keep track of the payments. Now I have an invoice. And just to show you, I'm going to hit save and close on this. Now, when you create the invoice, you could take payment right away. If not, I just saved the invoice. I'll scroll to the bottom. And now we do have an invoice. So we want to take a payment and apply it to this invoice, 15632. So I'm going to do record payment. We're going to choose that invoice, so 15632. So here's my $100 invoice. And we want to apply a portion or all of this to the maintenance plan. But they are going to pay only $50 for the first visit. And now we'll say payment method. They paid with a check. Date received is today. And record payment. This will now show. Oh, did I do that wrong? I think I did. So, sorry, let's edit this. I put $100 instead of $50. Wait, but this is saying, let's refresh. So this should just say $50. Oh, total payment amount. I think that is what I did wrong. I'm going to delete this. And let's redo that. So we'll record payment. I only want to pay half. We're going to do the 15632. So here it is. Apply a portion or all of this. And we only want $50. It's saying total payment. Maybe I have to do it here. Okay, there we go. So now we're saying we're making a payment of $50. There will be a balance of $50, and that $50 is being applied to the plan. So that is my error. I apologize for that. Let's say we're doing check today. All right. And now if you want, you could even put in the memo, this is the spring visit and record. That's what I was looking for. So now this will say partially paid. So you always will know. Oh, this is partially paid. That means we did the first visit. Now, just repeat that process for the second visit. Okay, so there we go. The very last topic before we get into our Q&A is how you can manage your maintenance plan pricing strategy. So we're going to go to more applications, price book, pricing defaults. In your system, your customers are either going to be flagged as a maintenance plan customer or a not a maintenance plan customer. If they are a maintenance plan customer, anytime you create a proposal or invoice for them, it will automatically apply the maintenance plan pricing you have set here. If you, as part of your program, offer, let's say, 10% off all parts as a way to entice your customers to sign up for your program, this is where you would put that discount, is here. Then, when I create a proposal or an invoice and I add items that have the maintenance plan pricing applied, it will automatically discount them what you have set here. Uh, and so when I go to a invoice, let's say, let's go to here, open, and I go to pricing settings. If they're a maintenance plan customer, you'll see it's been changed already to the maintenance plan price automatically. If you want to, for whatever reason, change that to something different, maybe they're in the military and you'd rather give them the military discount than the maintenance plan discount, you can do that and update those pricing strategies right from the invoice level here. But that's the thing I wanted to point out is your maintenance plan pricing that you set up here will automatically discount on future jobs for that customer, uh, as long as they're a maintenance plan customer. Okay, that is all the information we have for today's presentation. I hope that it was helpful for you. We're going to jump to our live Q&A now where you can ask your questions. But before we do, I just want to say thank you so much for joining. My name is Mark with WEX Field Service Management, and this has been Maintenance Plans Basics.